My name is Dana. I'm a registered dietitian, and we're going to talk about some healthy snacking today. So snacking has become a really popular activity. I looked at some of the statistics, and I was even shocked. I didn't think it was as much as it was, but over 94% of Americans have at least one snack a day. And 50% have 3 or more. So we're all snacking. It seems like we're all doing it. But there's so many foods out there. So that's why I wanted to do this presentation, to talk a little bit more about, what we can do to snack healthily instead of eating the common things like chocolate, cheese, and chips, which were found to be America's favorite snack options. So, not really the healthiest. We're also spending a lot more time at home, especially if we're getting the second wave of COVID. That can lead to even more like snacking opportunities because, instead of being at work where your pantry doesn't exist, now you're working from home where you have access to your pantry 24/7. It also leads to less structured eating when we're at home so much and we don't have our regular schedule to follow. It's really easy to pick up that bag of chips, multiple times a day, and you end up eating all these extra calories. So if anyone wants to share in the chat, where do you fall on the snack spectrum? Are you a once a day snacker? Maybe you don't snack at all, or you have more than 3 snacks a day. Feel free to post because I'm always curious to hear where you guys fall. So what the research says about snacking. Basically there's 2 sides, and the research isn't totally definitive on one versus the other, but what they found is that it may be able to help control your appetite, or it can contribute to recreational eating and excess calories. There's been studies that have shown that people who ate the fewest number of times a day had more body weight, but this is kind of that chicken or the egg. Are they heavier so they eat less times a day thinking that that's going to help them lose weight, or do they eat less times a day and that makes them hold on to weight? So there's 2 different theories going on there, and there hasn't been enough science to really figure out what's going on. Some other studies showed that people who identified themselves as usual snackers were more likely to gain weight over a longer period of time of about 4.5 years. Whereas another study showed that girls who were of the teenage age showed that the more frequently that they ate, the less body fat that they had in adulthood. And then again, another study showed with adults that consuming solid food 6 times or more in a 24-hour period actually had a lower BMI compared to those who ate 3 or less times a day. So there's a lot of different things going on. It's really difficult to read research like this and say, okay, well, what's the answer? And that's kind of where do we go from here? My take on it is that snacking can be a part of a healthy diet. You can use snacks to fulfill nutrition gaps and satisfy cravings in a healthy way. A snack should be a small portion of food between your meals. So if you're snacking within your calorie limits, hopefully you're not gaining weight in the long run, and you're using it to better the quality of your diet. Between 150 to 200 calories would be appropriate for a snack. And you can avoid having feelings of guilt by having your snacks planned out. So a lot of times we hear people say, oh, I was craving chocolates, so I ate the whole chocolate bar, or I was craving chips and I ended up eating the whole bag. But if you have, your snacks planned out, we can reduce those cravings and prevent you from overeating on the foods that we shouldn't be. The benefits of snacking. It can help to aid in weight control, because if you snack throughout the day, you're less hungry when you go to eat your meals, which means that you're less likely to overeat and binge during meal times. It can help curb your cravings. So smaller portions of the foods that you crave can help prevent binging on those foods. It can help you boost your energy and your mood and improve concentration and beat that midday slump that we sometimes tend to get. It helps to stabilize your blood sugar. Whether or not you're diabetic, you want to avoid spikes and dips in blood sugar that causes insulin resistance and inflammation in the body. So creating a snacking pattern that allows you to eat every few hours can help to stabilize your blood sugar. It can also help you meet your nutritional needs. Where's my little clicker? So what to eat? With so many options in the grocery store, how do we know what options are healthy and which are not? Choosing a snack. Choosing a snack based on nutritional benefits and how it completes the rest of the diet is important. So for example, if you want to have a snack and you read somewhere that yogurt is a great snack, but you had milk with your breakfast and you had cheese at lunch, but you haven't had any fruits and vegetables all day, yogurt is probably not going to be a healthy snack for you in that situation. So we want to try to make sure that we're having these balanced meals and these balanced snacks so that when you look at the end of the day, what you ate throughout the day, you had a complete, fruits, vegetables, your dairy or your non-dairy alternatives, your protein and your fats. Those are most important. You want to choose foods that are closer to their natural state and that are more nutrient dense compared to processed foods. So something like an apple or even just like a baked potato is going to be better than a potato chip. A baked potato is a lot less processed than potato chips. Eating every 3 to 5 hours is a good goal. And drinking water with each snack can help you feeling fuller longer. So if you feel like some days you just wake up and you just want to eat all day long, try having a glass of water with each of your snacks or each of your meals. That way your stomach is full and you don't feel like you need to keep eating all the time. Nutrient-dense foods are key to keep the immune system in optimal condition, which is why we're kind of talking about this now too with COVID. We want to make sure our immune systems are functioning at their best to prevent us from getting sick, and snacks can help us do that. So nuts and seeds. Nuts and seeds are a great, ideal, nutritious snack. They're high in essential fats. They also contain protein and fiber. Nut and seed consumption has been linked to reduced risk of heart disease and may help prevent certain cancers and depression. Studies have linked nut consumption to weight loss as well. And they're an easy grab and go option. You don't really need to do too much to prepare nuts and seeds, right? You can usually get them pretty readily at the store. Nut and seed butters are also great if you don't like to just eat plain nuts. Using the butters to put on like fruit or vegetables gives you a very nutritionally balanced option. So this is a healthy trail mix recipe. I threw in a ton of recipes in this presentation. So what I'm going to do after is probably email it to Steven and he can distribute it to you guys. That way you have the recipes. But basically a healthy trail mix recipe, throwing in a ton of different nuts. You can use almonds, pecans, cashews, walnuts, peanuts, Brazil nuts, macadamia nuts, go crazy, whatever nuts you like. And then some raw seeds as well. So sunflower seeds are great, pumpkin seeds, flax seeds, sesame seeds, whatever your heart desires. And to give it a little bit of a sweet option, you can use unsweetened, unsulfured dried fruit. So I know this sounds like unsweetened, unsulfured. What is that? Basically, you just want to minimize the processing. So look for like a freeze-dried fruit, or there's some really great options in like the natural sections. Then you've got your fun stuff. So this is where you get to really put in what you like. You can do some chopped dark chocolate, maybe like popcorn or some pretzels, even espresso beans. So you can have fun here, put in whatever little things that you like, and then of course adding your spices is great. Things like cinnamon, a pinch of nutmeg, you could do sea salt, you can even do like some turmeric or cayenne pepper, whatever spices you like to give it some flavor. All you have to do is mix the ingredients together in a large bowl and then portion it out. Usually about 1/4 cup is a serving of nuts. And we have our vegetables. These are great low-calorie, nutrient-dense options. You want to aim for a variety of colors. The more colors, the more phytonutrients in your diet, the healthier it's going to be. So things like red bell peppers, broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, celery, beets, yellow peppers, trying to get as many colors as you can. Lots of antioxidants, vitamins, and phytonutrients. They can be eaten raw or cooked. A lot of times, if you're someone who is called a super taster, raw vegetables are not going to be appealing to you, and that's okay. So cook them. Roasting them tends to bring out the most sweetness of the vegetable. But it also helps to make them more digestible as well. As we get older, our stomach acid tends to decrease, and it makes it harder for us to digest food. So cooking them down can really help with that. A great option is to pair vegetables with a dip, something like hummus or guacamole. That helps to increase, its palatability, so its flavor, and also adds fat and protein, which will help you feel a little bit fuller longer. Some veggie snack ideas include like celery sticks with nut or seed butter, tomato with fresh mozzarella and basil. I love using the little cherry tomatoes and the little mozzarella balls. You can put those on like a toothpick or a little skewer with some basil. Cucumber slices and hummus. Edamame is a great option. Artichoke hearts are also great. Kale chips are delicious. Anything with guacamole, peppers, carrots, celery, all of that good stuff. And also snap peas with ranch is another idea. Here is a recipe for easy kale chips. I absolutely love these. I make them all the time. I use a lot of lemon and lime in my cooking. I love that like acidic taste, and I think it pairs really well with kale. So this is a really easy, really healthy recipe that you can make at home. I know so many people who say they hate kale, and then they try these kale chips and they're like, oh wait, it is really good. So I highly recommend this recipe. Yogurt and cottage cheese. Plain unsweetened Greek yogurt is a good nutrient-dense snack. There are plenty of non-dairy yogurt alternatives that are also great. It's just important to make sure that you're not getting the flavors and the kinds that are very filled with sugar, that are very sweetened. Same thing with regular yogurt. If you're not a Greek yogurt fan, regular yogurt is also fine, as long as it's more of like an unsweetened, because if you look at the ingredient labels on a lot of yogurts, there is a ton of sugar in there. And if you're saying you don't like plain yogurt, that's okay. We've got ways to spice it up. But yogurt is high in calcium and potassium. It's low in sugar if you're getting the unsweetened versions. It's also high in protein and a good probiotic. Cottage cheese, similarly, is also high in protein, and the full fat varieties contain conjugated linoleic acid, which is called CLA, and that has been shown to help maintain weight loss, lose fat, yet retaining muscle mass, and also can help to control blood sugars in type 2 diabetics. You can combine it with cinnamon and flaxseed. That's a really good option. I also have a recipe here for a healthy yogurt parfait. So if you're someone who does not like unsweetened yogurt by itself, that's totally fine. You want to spice it up with things like fresh berries, peaches, a little bit of granola is fine, chia seeds. There's tons of different options in there that you can add to give it some more flavor and some more sweetness that are not just dumping sugar into your snack. So to make this recipe, you're kind of just layering the yogurt, the fruit, and the granola and the chia seeds into the glass. And you can see it's really beautiful when it comes out like that. Fruit is another option. It's high in fiber, antioxidants, vitamins and minerals, and also prebiotics. So prebiotics are usually different types of fibers that are insoluble that help to feed the good bacteria in our GI tract. So it's kind of like a food for your probiotics, and fruit is a really good way to get those into your body. It can be easily taken on the go for a quick low-calorie option. It is so easy to take a banana or an orange or an apple and throw it in your bag if you're going to be on the go throughout the day. It can help regulate digestion and reduce the risk for cardiovascular disease and some cancers. And berries are one of the best sources of antioxidants that can really help improve your focus throughout the day. So if you're really in that like midday slump, a great option is to have some fresh berries. A good snack idea for fruit includes like apple with any type of nut butter, fresh berries. You can have them on their own or combined with yogurt. Fruit leather is another good option. You just want to make sure it's not sweetened. So fruit leather is like a very dried like fruit pulp, basically, that's been dehydrated. And as long as it's not sweetened with extra sugar, it's a good option. Unsweetened, unsulfured dried fruit, which we talked about earlier. Something called banana nice cream, which we'll go into in a second. You can do like any of those more tropical fruits like mango and papaya are really great with lime juice. You can even put a little bit of cayenne pepper on them and it makes for a really great snack. Watermelon feta salad is delicious. That's what we have the picture of there. Pear pairs really well, pairs really well with cheddar cheese, like a sharp cheddar, so you can use that as a snack. Figs go well with goat cheese. Orange slices and grapefruit slices are a really good, like low calorie, low sugar option. You can even do frozen yogurt covered blueberries. There's plenty of recipes for those on the internet, and those make a great snack, especially during the summertime when it's hot out. So here is a recipe for an ice cream. This is one of my favorite like after dinner snacks. It's more of a dessert, but I've had this for breakfast. I've had it for lunch. I've had it pretty much all hours of the day because it is so delicious. But all you have to do is freeze some bananas, put your ingredients in a blender and blend them up to make this really delicious kind of like ice cream replacement. That's all natural. There's no extra sugar and it can make a really good snack. Dark chocolate is another good option to help satisfy your chocolate and sweet cravings. It's loaded with flavonols that can help lower blood pressure and reduce your heart disease risk. One thing that you have to pay attention to is that it has to contain at least 70% cocoa solids. So that milk chocolate or the semi-sweet chocolate is not really going to cut it here. You really need a dark chocolate. It's also high in magnesium. So if you are someone who experiences a lot of cramping, especially like in your legs at night, things like that, you can have a little bit of dark chocolate before you go to bed, and usually that'll help with the cramps. Eggs are another great option. These are probably one of my favorite snacks because they are so nutrient dense and they have a lot of protein, vitamins, and minerals. If you're someone who doesn't eat a lot of meat, then eggs are a great option to get protein in. You have 7 grams of protein per egg. It's high in vitamin K, vitamin D, B2, B12, zinc, choline, selenium, iron. There's plenty of other nutrients that eggs are great sources of, but those are just some of the top ones that are important. Hard-boiled eggs are another easy grab-and-go snack. You can also do things like egg salad or egg muffins, which are really very simple to make. You keep them in your fridge for a few days, and it's a great healthy snack. I always encourage people to purchase organic free-range eggs because they do have a healthier fat composition that has more omega-3 fats, which are more anti-inflammatory compared to your conventionally raised eggs. This recipe is an egg muffin cup recipe. Like I said before, these are so easy to make. You're basically just whisking everything together and putting it into a muffin pan to bake them. But it's so easy to have these in the fridge. And if you're someone who has difficulty eating breakfast or kind of is like running out of the house a lot, this is a good high protein meal that you can just, or like snack that you can just grab and go and take with you. Jerky is another option. So jerky is another great high protein snack. It's easy to take around with you. It doesn't really make too much of a mess. But it's really important that if you're going to eat jerky, you need to be buying the right type. When you go into the gas station and pick out the Slim Jim, that is definitely not the right type. They can be loaded with like sugar and preservatives. So you want to look for organic grass-fed meat that was dried without nitrates or nitrites. You want it to have as few added ingredients as possible. But when you find a good like grass-fed jerky that's been dehydrated, it really can contain a lot of good healthy omega-3 fats and can be a healthy snack for any diet. Now we're getting into the healthy fats. So olives are one of the nutritious staples of the Mediterranean diet. And you have probably heard a ton about like olive oil, how it's so heart healthy, all of these things. That's all based on the Mediterranean diet because olives are high in monounsaturated fat and they're a good source of antioxidants. They're also really easy to eat on the go. You can take, a little jar of olives with you, and because they're so high in fat, they really help to keep you full for a long time. So this is a great option to bring around or to keep with you if you know that you're going to be very busy and not have a lot of time to eat a full meal throughout the day. Olives will help to keep you full and keep your brain going. Avocados are another great source of healthy fats. They are high in monounsaturated fats, just like the olives are. They're also high in fiber and vitamins like vitamin C and potassium. Both olives and avocados can help reduce inflammation and cancer risk. And then we've got smoothies. Smoothies can make a really great snack option, but you want to be careful because sometimes smoothies are a whole meal in themselves. So you're going to want to look for like a lighter, lower calorie option that incorporates fruits, vegetables, and some protein. This is a really good way to get in those nutritional needs that you might not have gotten with the rest of your diet. For example, if you're someone who really does not like vegetables or is not too big on like fruits, putting them into a smoothie, things like spinach, kale even. You can throw in like celery, a lot of those vegetables that you don't really eat enough of, that we tend to not eat a lot of in our diet. You can throw those in a smoothie where you don't really taste them, but you're getting all the benefits of their nutrients. Some options too are like powdered options that you can add. So things like ashwagandha, spirulina, bee pollen, chia seeds, hemp seeds, flax seeds, coconut oil, cacao, maca, wheatgrass, all of these things are just diet enhancers. So you can add these to your smoothies where you don't taste them, but you're getting a lot of health benefits from taking them. For example, maca is great for females and hormone balance, especially going through like menopause, around the times that you're getting your period through the month. Maca is really great for that. Spirulina is really good to help you detoxify from heavy metals. Ashwagandha is great for your stress and just giving you a little bit more room for things that happen in your life. I like to compare ashwagandha to, if your stress tolerance is here, it now raises it to here. So it just gives you a little bit more leeway with your stress hormones and things like that, so you don't have a lot of reactions. And then we've got, you know, like your flax seeds, chia seeds, hemp seeds, all of those are just great additions to your diet. Here is a example of a smoothie recipe. It has some spinach in it, like we were talking about before, where if you're someone who doesn't eat a lot of spinach, you don't taste it when you put it in a recipe with a lot of fruit, such as like the banana and the pineapple. So this is a good way to sneak that in there. Coconut water compared to using like a milk is a lower calorie option. So this is good if you're, you know, looking for a snack compared to like a meal version of a of a smoothie. Sorry, you want to look for like mixing it with water, coconut water, instead of like an almond milk or things like that. And all you have to do is put them in a blender, blend it until smooth, and then you can take it with you. You can have it while you're working. Another great option on the go. So I know that was a really quick presentation, but I do have a healthy snack guide, and I wanted to open this up for questions because a lot of people tend to have a ton of questions about snacks for whatever reason. But I wanted to see what you guys had any questions about.
We have a question. One attendee asks, snack a lot on skinny popcorn or cheddar cheese popcorn at least 3 times a day. How bad is that?
So popcorn is a whole grain, so it can be healthy. But if that is the only snack that you're having 3 times a day, you're probably getting too much of it. And then the ones that have the cheese on them tend to be, you know, a lot more processed. It's not the healthiest version, but like the plain popcorn is okay. You can have, you know, I think the serving size for popcorn is actually pretty high. It's like 3 cups or something crazy like that. But I would go for, if you're going to have that for one snack, make your other snacks something else that aren't carb related. So maybe like a hard-boiled egg, or if you do like cheddar cheese, maybe you could do cheese with like an apple or a pear, or having something that's just a little bit more fat-based, like some nuts, as your other snack.
We have, what about bottled smoothies?
you have to be very careful with bottled smoothies. So looking at the sugar content in them is always where I tell people to start. If there's any added sugars, put it back on the shelf. You should not be adding sugar to a smoothie that has fruit in it because there's already so much natural sugar in fruit. And the other thing to look at is the calories. Some smoothies, if you're not making them yourself, can have a ton of hidden calories in there. I honestly don't understand where those calories come from, but I picked up smoothies that say 500 calories. That's a meal. That's not a snack. So I always go with make your own because you really know what you're putting into it. But that doesn't mean that there aren't some really great options in the market. I don't have a particular brand that I've been 100% thrilled with to recommend, but definitely look for, not too many sugars. If there's definitely no added sugar, and make sure that it has some type of vegetable and protein component and it's not just all fruit.
We have, where do you find matcha?
Matcha, you can probably find it. I always purchase mine online, either through Amazon or there's this website called Natural Partners that has a lot of supplements on there that I go to a lot. But you could definitely find it on Amazon, so that would probably be the easiest. But in stores, I think some grocery stores would probably have it. If there's like a natural section, I know King Cullen and Bridgehampton has that like natural section. I don't know what it's called, Wild by Nature, maybe something like that. But that section probably has some maca powder in it as well.
Yeah, I can recall some teas that actually have, when you open up the packet, there's some matcha powder inside with the tea. It was a particular brand of green tea, which I probably picked up at Wild by Nature, either in Hampton Bays or in King Cullen in Bridgehampton. But that's definitely a good.
We'll probably have it. You can't guarantee like general grocery stores, but yeah, if there's like a natural like health food section, it'll probably be there. There is a free snack guide based on this presentation that is on my website. So if you want to go to it, you can go to my website and click on the free stuff tab. It's there. I also want to give you guys these recipes because they are so delicious. So I will make sure that I get this presentation emailed out to all of you.
The hard-boiled eggs is really good. I started to do that myself. I'll keep about 6 or 8 hard-boiled in the refrigerator, and have maybe 2 in the morning, 2 hard-boiled eggs. Maybe have an egg as a snack if I need one.
Yeah.
They also have, I got a very neat item in Bed Bath and Beyond, which you can crack the egg into these cylinders and then screw the caps back on and put them in hot boiling water. And it came with a little recipe book too. So like if you, let's say, had it in the boiling water for 8 minutes, you get a hard-boiled egg, but with a little bit of a runny yolk, and it was all like adjustable to one's liking. And it also came with some great recipes for deviled eggs and other good healthy snacks. But the eggs are definitely good, and the kale chips are great. I've done the kale chips before.
Yeah, there's a huge misconception with eggs. A lot of people that I've talked to, especially my patients that I see a lot, are always so concerned. My doctor told me I can't eat eggs because of my heart. My doctor told me I can't eat eggs because of my cholesterol. That whole running dialogue, and it's really a very strong misconception. Eggs have so many nutrients in the yolk specifically that I always recommend my patients eat eggs. The whole egg, not just the whites. The yellow part is so important. It has a lot of nutrients that we don't see from a lot of other foods, especially that choline. It's really good for your liver. You need it to help your body detoxify and clear out your liver, and there's not very many dietary sources of it. So eggs are great, really great option.
Question, can you buy baby kale in packets for the kale chips?
Yep, if you don't want to cut the kale and you just want to use baby kale, that's totally fine. I've done it with both regular like kale that I've cut and baby kale. It is, I hope you guys make that recipe because it's one of my favorites. If you like lemon and lime and like that tangy citrus type of flavor, you're gonna like it a lot.
That is definitely a good one. Does anybody have any other questions? If anyone would like to use the raise hand, I'll mute you if you want to ask your question in person, or just type it in the chat. And as Dana said, she'll email me the information, and I will send it out to everybody who's on the Zoom, so they can have the recipes ready. And
I'm curious, I can't see the chat, but does everyone here snack? Are you on that snacking spectrum of having multiple snacks a day?
we have
I can't
we have a few.
Let's see.
I wrote in the chat that I'm doing intermittent fasting, so I don't snack anymore. And whenever I crave something, I follow what my body asks me to feed it with. So as I said, for example, if I crave fat, I will go to nuts, or as you said, olives, and I really follow what my body asks because there's a reason behind it. So and cheese. If he asks for cheese, I give him cheese.
That's awesome.
I mean, I'm French, so obviously, yeah.
No, I love that. You should look into fat bombs as well. Those pair really good with intermittent fasting, and they're these simple recipes. It's usually like a coconut oil base, or sometimes it'll have like a cream cheese or something, but there's all different flavors. I know because like the holidays are coming up, they have a lot of like pumpkin spice ones and things like that, but those are great to keep on hand with intermittent fasting because it's a high fat snack that'll keep you feeling full for an extended amount of time.
Beautiful, thank you.
You're welcome.
I love your presentations, by the way. They're very clear, neat, and you're lovely when you speak.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
Dana's going to be doing a few coming up in the coming month. We have, starting December 3rd, we have a 3-part series of holiday recipes. And the holiday recipes will be a really good program. We have also coming up December 15th, we have how to avoid weight gain during these very festive holiday seasons. That's going to be on December 15th at 2 o'clock. The cooking demos, seminars are going to be, I'll give you the dates. Everything will be on Eventbrite and also on the library's website and on Facebook. But holiday meals going to be December 3rd, December 9th, and December 10th at 12:15 in the afternoon. And we also have one, Dana is going to discuss moon cycles, the cycles of the moon, the full moons. We have the first of those talks, December 14th, we have that one. I just have to check my time. I think we have, is that 2 o'clock?
It might be, that sounds right, but I don't remember exactly. I think I have it in my calendar. I'm very excited for those. We're gonna do like a little new moon circle, where everyone can start, you know, moons are an important time to think about what you want to do for the next month. New moons are kind of like that new beginning. So we're going to look into that and really dive deep into like what you want to manifest and how you want your month to look, and planning that out to achieve, you know, all your goals.
Yeah, it's December 14th at 12 p.m.
Yeah.
12 to 1.
Okay.
And the weight healthy eating for the holidays is December 15th at 2 p.m. And the most recent one that'll be coming up December 3rd, 9th, and 10th is the holiday recipe demo, and that will be at 12:15 on those 3 dates.
Yep. I'm gonna do a appetizer, a side dish, and a dessert. So if you're not sure what to bring to your holiday get-togethers, you can watch those demos, and hopefully I'll give you some inspiration, or you can use the recipes from those classes.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you for a wonderful presentation as usual, and we look forward to the snack, the holiday recipes presentation. So until December 3rd, happy healthy eating.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, guys. Thank you so much.